Welcome to Asset Insights. Today we're looking at Ondo Finance, one of the most talked about names in real-world asset tokenization. Ondo isn't trying to reinvent money overnight. It's building infrastructure that connects traditional financial assets, like US treasuries, ETFs, and equities directly onto blockchains. At its core, Ondo focuses on tokenizing high-quality regulated financial assets. That includes tokenized exposure to US treasuries, tokenized ETFs and equities, on-chain access to traditional markets 24/7 for non-US users. Instead of speculative DeFi products, Ondo builds institutional-grade rails, compliance first, transparent, and designed to work with regulators rather than around them. This is why you see names like BlackRock, Coinbase, and major custodians involved for structure. Over the past few months, Ondo has quietly crossed some important milestones. They've expanded their global markets platform, allowing tokenized stocks and ETFs to trade on-chain across multiple blockchains. They've integrated with major wallets, meaning real users, not just DeFi insiders, can access tokenized assets directly. And most importantly, Ondo's total value locked continues to grow, not because of incentives or farming, but because institutions are actually using it. That's an important distinction. This isn't liquidity chasing yield, it's capital moving because the plumbing works. Please remember, all our content is to educate people on crypto. We do not give financial advice. You must always do your own research. Do not invest in any project without understanding that crypto is highly volatile and you can lose all you invest. So please do not invest more than you can afford to lose, and more importantly, invest in something you do not truly understand. Ignore noise. Focus on structure. You've probably seen the criticism online. The Ondo token isn't needed. That argument usually comes from one observation. You don't need Ondo to buy tokenized treasuries or trade assets on Ondo. And that part is true, but that's intentional. Ondo separated usage from governance early to reduce friction for institutions. Fewer tokens in the way means easier compliance, smoother onboarding, and faster adoption. The Ondo token sits at the control layer, not the checkout counter. Ondo governs the Ondo ecosystem. Token holders vote on protocol parameters, risk controls, treasury decisions, future product direction. As Ondo expands, governance becomes more valuable, not less, because decisions increasingly affect real capital, real assets, and real markets. This is infrastructure logic, not retail tokenomics. Value capture comes after trust and scale, not before. Most crypto projects chase usage first and figure out regulation later. Ondo flipped that. They built compliance first, institutions second, token incentives last. That's slower, but far more durable. And it explains why Ondo keeps showing up in serious conversations about the future of tokenized markets. Let's talk about what holding the Ondo token actually means. Not as a trade, not as advice, but as exposure to a specific type of crypto thesis. When you hold Ondo, you're not buying a product. You're buying governance and alignment with a piece of financial infrastructure. That's very important, because Ondo isn't trying to extract value quickly. It's trying to become trusted enough that value naturally flows through the system over time. This is why Ondo hasn't behaved like a typical hype-driven token. Over the last cycle, crypto as a whole went through what many people now refer to as a reset. Liquidity drained, risk assets repriced, and anything tied to future expectations got hit hardest. Infrastructure tokens were no exception. Ondo was building during that period, not marketing. And that creates a disconnect people often misunderstand. Adoption can rise, usage can grow, while price lags. That doesn't mean something is broken. It usually means value capture hasn't been switched on yet. In both crypto and traditional markets, the assets that look boring during the build phase are often the ones that make sense once the system is already in place. That's why many see Ondo as undervalued in narrative terms, even if the market hasn't priced that in yet. Not because of speculation, but because the underlying system is still being assembled. Holding Ondo isn't about chasing the next move. It's about understanding what you're aligned with if tokenized finance becomes a permanent part of global markets. If you understand that alignment, what Ondo are building and where tokenized finance is heading, then you also understand why long-term holders believe the token is not priced where it will remain. Whether that future arrives fast or slowly, Ondo is positioning itself where institutions, regulators, and blockchains intersect. That's not exciting every day, but it's how real systems are built. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please subscribe to the channel and click notifications. If you would like us to cover a specific crypto project, let us know in the comments below. Until then, go check out our short section. Thanks for watching. We shall see you in the next video.